morning, everybody. Happy Art Day. Today I'm having quite the different setup here because I'm not only gonna show you what I'm gonna produce, what art project I'm gonna work with, but I'm gonna involve you in all the prep work this time around. Usually I have stuff prepped already, like the letters for the random act of kindness, or I have looked through collage bits for my magazine journals, or looked through colors what I wanted to work with on a certain project. But today I'm gonna let you in to the behind the scenes for what happens, what I work like when I prep things, how I use certain tools. Because today I'm going to work on a huge project. It's actually Friday, the Friday before I record Art Day, and today I'm gonna get a delivery. It's gonna be two big canvases, and it might be that while I'm filming and prepping stuff, the delivery man rings the doorbell and says, "There you are, Sarah, this is your delivery." But I'm currently up in my studio. And what I'm going to take downstairs is for you with this camera, and also this camera with my SD card. So this is a Canon 60D, and this is what I use for all my photos of artwork, or, well, other photos as well if I take a portrait or something. But these I also, I use this camera to do artsy photos or just product photos. And I'm gonna take this one downstairs. I'm gonna take a second battery for this camera, and I'm gonna take you to our living room where there's lots of board games. The thing is that I'm going to paint a new painting for our living room, and the main painting in our living room is always a gift, or actually the first one he bought to my hubby. So hubby bought the one, he commissioned me to paint the one that is currently on our major wall in the living room. But it's time for a new one. This one is 10 years old, and it needs an update, it needs to be switched. So I'm going to paint another one. The old one's not going to go away, it goes into my storage. And maybe in 5 years we we switch up the paintings again, and the old one's going to sit there, and the new one's going to be in storage for a couple of years. But the theme this time around, last time he commissioned me to go for shapes and certain colors. And this time around, I convinced him that board game themes would be very cool, because this is actually the main room where we do our board gaming. And we will see in a minute how many games are downstairs. And you might agree with me and say, yeah, the board games is really good subject for this thing. So I want to have the canvas and the painting dry and hung up before his actual birthday comes around, which is end of the month. And I'm going to go with you through our board games and look for certain pieces that I want to arrange and take a reference photo of, or a photo of, that I'm then going to blow up onto the big canvas. But excuse me. Now I'm just gonna put you next to me, in front of me, and we're gonna go downstairs, folks. So if you've seen a couple of the Taco Clock vlogs, you might recognize this area. This is the board game area. So there's lots of board games. These are all the co-op, team versus team. And this is all the competitive games that we have. So lots of them. And it's gonna extend there, I'm very sure. And there are the new games that we still have to test and put onto the podcast, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna go and put you somewhere where you can see and you're not shaky. And I'm going to pull a couple of games from the shelf where I definitely know that I want to have the components in the reference photo. Let's see. What do I want? I definitely want... where is it? Oh no, those two are in the co-op section, so I have to go to the co-op section. I want this. Oh, they're both in one space. This and this. Now I'm just going to think, are there any cool pieces in here? No, not really. I need figurines. I could take Scythe, I could take Game of Gnomes, I could take Takenoko, could take zombies, so Zombicide maybe. Ice Cool, no, Star Wars. Maybe I'm just going to take a few games and see which combination I like best. Let's go for a very simple one. And let's go for Scythe. Scythe, where are you? Downstairs here. And maybe Zombicide or what else has great monsters or stuff? This should be kind of good. Yeah, no. This is difficult. Let's decide which ones to take. Let's take Takenoko. So, these are the games that I think would work rather nicely. Now I'm just gonna put them onto the table and I'm gonna put you here as well and get all the other games. So now I'm going to take the pieces that I definitely know I want, and I'm going to try and arrange certain others with it and take photos of them. So from the elder sign, definitely want the clock. that away. From Pathfinder, I definitely want the dice. And I could take any other gaming dice, but this blue is very distinct, so I want to have exactly those dice. That's all. And now I have to see from Scythe. I would take one of the big minis. I have to find out which one I would take. I think the white one is the nicest. So that would be the choice for Scythe. For the cure, it would also be one of these. There I would just go with the colors. And for Takenoko, it would be the panda. Don't have to throw it. Now I just have to arrange them and see what I like best. So I also have to prop things up. So I want to arrange things and see what I might like. Let's see how I like this. Clock is a bit too big as a only component. So I might have to add things. Let's see. Nope. Still misses balance. But I can remedy that. Let's see how this goes. Almost, folks, almost. I think I got it. So now, quickly gonna put everything away and then I'm gonna show you how I edit. First off, I'm going to put the SD card into my computer. Put the camera aside where it cannot fall. Putting SD card in. And I want another program, which is Aperture. Which is this one here. Hope you can see. So let's import things. See, there's lots of data on there that I don't need for this particular one. Just need all of these and see which ones I like in the end. So I'm gonna add them to my folder. Yeah, I'm gonna delete those. Let's see. It's a bit too empty, I think. Same here. Too much space on the left. This is it. So the last shot is the one. And I'm having focus on the closer parts, and the further you go to the back, the less focus is there, the more blurry it is. So what I'm gonna do now is just see if it's just a bit crisper. I do want a bit more definition. How much more? Yeah, so a bit less. Need quite a bit of contrast because I'm gonna print it and then blow it up on a overhead projector. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna save this version. I'm gonna export it to, no project. And I have to look if I have my watermark in there because I don't want my watermark. Nope, no watermark. Excellent. Where did it? There it went. The other screen. Now, see, this is what I'm going to work with. I'm going to cut all of these blurry things here that are not gaming parts. I'm going to have my own background in there, but these are the parts that I'm going to work with. So now I have to print this little dude. Fit to scale, perfect. One copy. Now I'm going to put it to my printer. And then I'm gonna put it onto the acetate, the foils that you use for overhead projectors. But for that, I have to go to my other desk, the other camera, but I need the acetate, which is right behind me. So I'm just gonna put the foil over my photo here, and I'm going to go with a black marker that works for foil. And I'm just going to have everything laid out and traced from the photo that I need to have on the canvas. I will always have a photo, like the original photo, next to me when I paint, but that is more for color reference than for positioning, you know? Still, I'm only gonna have the bigger items that I need to have on here. I don't go for all the tiny little things. Okay. I hear voices. It could be that this was my delivery already. Then you can see why I'm making such a fuss, so much work with the copying of the subject that I want to have on my canvas. All right, I can turn this, can outline the color blobs. I'm gonna have very blurry. Again, I will have this photo with me when I paint. I also need that photo next to me then for light and shadow, because I am not going to indicate that on this foil here. Okay. There we got the things I need to pull this big onto the canvas, and now I'm going to take a look downstairs if my canvas actually arrived. I heard voices, so I think it did, but we'll see. I was right, the canvases arrived and I unpacked them. This is the bigger canvas and the smaller one. And the smaller one is going to be in this direction and next to it. So the whole painting will be 1 meter by 1 meter 80. And when it's windy, my cardstock wants to fall down. Anyway, now you know why I had to have the acetate, because I really have to put it on an overhead projector and blow it up to have the motif be exact over the two canvases. I could also have worked with stencils, but that would mean a lot of printing, a lot of paper, and I do like this idea better, and I have an overhead projector. So what I want to do now is position the canvases so that I can blow up the acetate tracing thing with the overhead projector. Now, since the bigger canvas is 1 meter 50, I'm only gonna fit, I think, one of them in front of it, in front of the heater. I have to move the easels. I don't think I can fit both of the canvases next to each other. I'm gonna try, and if I cannot fit the both of them next to each other, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark on my acetate where the end of the canvas is and where the next one starts, so that I know where I have to cut things. But I'm just gonna put you down. I hope you're somewhat seeing something. Things are in frame and shit. But I'm going to prep the canvas stuff now. And make some space. I could actually fit them both. That's a nice thing. Just, okay. I don't have to mark things, but I have to unpack. The only problem is that the canvases wouldn't have the same depth. don't know how I can remedy that, but I have to try. Yay me, super smart. Now I'm gonna get the OHP. Yep, nice. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna position So this is what it would look like. Usually I would go with a graphite pencil and go all over those lines, but the thing is I'm going to plan, or I'm planning a big wash on the canvas with acrylic paint, and then use gel medium and acrylic paint to paint all the objects. So I could actually get away with using a permanent marker to mark all of those, and I'm not gonna lose the lines when I work with the wash, the underpainting, the background painting, so to say. So I'm going to kneel here before you, and I'm just gonna go and mark everything on the canvases that I have put down here. Okay, that is the clock. Now the panda. Something makes funny noises. I think this is the canvas against the heater. Yeah, it is, because it's only when I move it. Okay. And I really like to work on these big surfaces this way, because then I don't feel like I'm starting something and then I'm not sure if the composition is perfect or if size of objects is correct in comparison to other objects, stuff like that. If I want to go for real height and stuff, I definitely like to work like that. And it's not cheating. I mean, you just use tools. It's like using a ruler for a straight line or a scissor to cut something. It's a tool, and these modern tools are the same thing. They are tools. They're not cheating or saying, you cannot draw. I can. I just want to make sure that I have the right proportions and stuff on such a big surface. On a smaller one, I wouldn't need these kinds of tools. But on the bigger ones, I definitely do. And I think very many do too. Right, that would be that. And this is all the prep work that I'm gonna do. And I will see you guys on Monday when I actually record, but you will see it in a few seconds how the studio looks different because I have to, well, not film at my table, but at the big easel, and I have to move stuff around to actually film and set up the camera and stuff like that. But you will see that in a few seconds. For me, it's, well, 2.5 days before I record that. So I hope you enjoyed this prep work. And this look behind the scenes, and I'm going to, well, show you a bit more in the rest of the video. Monday morning, time to paint. I set up my painting space or my studio, but you can only see this canvas and this one here, the smaller one, not so much. So I have to hold that into the camera, I guess, once in a while. And what you also cannot see next to me on this side here, am I in frame? Oh god. In this side here, there's all my colors. There's my tools, sponges, and palette knives, the gel medium, ouch, my palette and stuff. And I'm gonna go paint now. And I'm gonna start with the underpainting. That I have talked about, and for that I'm going to use my palette in 3 colors. Titanium white, yellow ochre and graphite. And I'm going to water them down very, very much, and then I'm going to apply them to the canvases with the sponge and also get the edges and stuff. That is why on the top of this big canvas the holder is not in place yet, so I can actually lift my canvas. So I hope this actually works with you seeing quite a bit when filming. I really hope. And I'm going to be out of frame, out of frame a lot. Because I'm actually working with my colors on my palette here, and a bit more maybe. Alright, so I'm going to have an ombre look from white to yellow ochre to graphite. And I'm going to spray the colors with my, actually hold that here, see, there's my colors. I'm gonna spritz them. Do I have it on off? Yep, I'm stupid like that. Not gonna work with the spritzing then. I'm gonna spritz the colors with quite a bit of water. And I have to set down the palette now, otherwise my whole floor is going to be dirty. But the color won't be on my palette. So I'm mixing the water with the color on the sponge, and I'm going to start with a smaller canvas. And I'm going to have it between my legs and just go like this. That gives an ombre look of the background. A bit more of the white. Have everything very smooth. And by having the water thin out the acrylics, I'm not going to lose my line work. Okay, let's get into the ombre, to the light ochre a bit. bit though. I'm pulling down the color on the sides a bit more than you can see on the front. A bit of the white, more of the white. It's too much of the yellow ochre, so let's get in the white. This is something work-wise where you don't want to have your nails done the day before or the morning of. I can tell you, this is getting dirty. Okay, this is the upper part. And now I can move on to the lower one, which is the graphite. Need a bit more water for the graphite to run. Now I only need the sides and the bottom on this canvas to be with the graphite. Don't need the rest. Okay, I'm going to put this canvas aside to dry and go for the other one. And I'm going to need a new sponge because again I need to go from light to dark. And I'm just taking a normal household cleaning sponge here. So I'm going to start at the top. Now let's mark where the darks have to be. So I can already pull in the light ochre. I have, yeah, light ochre. All right, now I'm going to let this dry. Stop the clock. Pause. And then I'm gonna start mixing the colors for I think for the minis first and then go to the clock last. But I have to clean up now. So now what I'm going to start with is mix my gel medium here with the color that I want. So I'm not going to have 100 million shades of each color, but I will only have 2. So a light and a dark with every piece of board game equipment on the what's it called? On the painting. So first I will have my gel medium here. And all the supplies are going to be on my blog once the last part of this video goes up. I suspect that I'm not going to be able to finish this in one sitting, so probably there's going to be a second part of this. So I'm having my gel medium up, and I want to start with... Let's start with the blue dyes. Start with those. So I'm taking a light blue and a dark blue, and my dark blue, and I'm mixing gel medium with the paint 50-50. And then it pretty much raises up the gel medium, raises up the paint and makes it kind of plasticky, gooey later on. So I might have to get my second Prussian blue. I'm not gonna take care of the numbers now. I have a photo so I can look what they later looked like. And then I can add them with... this is not perfect, hold on. Can you still see? Yeah, to move a bit. So I'm just going, for example, yeah. I'm not taking care of the lines for now, or the numbers. Just gonna shade. This one here, for example. And the trick is to be very loose with your application of color, because then you get the nicest effects. So I don't want to be overly precise. I want to be kind of precise. And you can mix stuff on the palette, on the painting, you get very nice effects there, depending on what you want to achieve. I always need a bit of white. Just for built-in highlights already at the beginning. So I'm gonna take a bit of white, mix it with the blue. Have a few of the highlights here, for example. I hope I'm not too much in the way and you can see what I'm doing there. Going to take another palette knife that has quite the heavy line here, so I can add quite a bit of detail already. And with this particular way of painting, I get most of my details via texture actually, and not necessarily via shading, which I think is a very cool thing. So. You just have to be brave with this particular way of painting here. Don't be afraid that you will mess up lines or stuff. You can always add lines on top. It takes a bit longer to dry with the gel medium mixed into into the paint, but you should be able to get shading and detail nonetheless. It's always good to have a reference photo, but that is with any kind of artwork, so I wouldn't necessarily say that this only goes for working with this kind of painting. You know, folks, I just thought of something. I might move you, since I'm not going to work on the smaller canvas which is next to me first. Going to put this one aside, and I'm just going to move you a little bit, because I think you can't hardly see anything. Let's move you there. Let's see if this is maybe a bit better for you. And this is just a play between lights and darks. That's all there is to it. It's very simple. We're not really going into the darks. And I'm thinking about adding a bit of black. I hate to shade with black, but for this particular kind of painting, I actually like black. Because again, I'm not having tons and tons of shading going on, but I'm actually rather bold with my shading. And I'm gonna put this one here into the water for now, because I really like to work with this angled palette knife. I'm going to add the black. Let's put it where I cannot accidentally mix it with something else. So I'm just adding a little bit of black to the dark blue, so the Prussian blue, just to have the darkest shading down here going on. Can you see this? Maybe, I don't know. I'm too far away from the viewfinder. This is not good. Gonna bend you a bit more. Now you can probably see all the dyes. So I just added the dark here, the blue, the dark blue mixed with the black for the really dark shades. Just going to do that here. Something like that. On to the next one that is in front. It has light on here. So I need white and light blue with a bit of gel medium. And you see I'm not cleaning my palette knife in between. And that gives me a natural change in colors already, which well, makes me not having to mix as much or think as much about mixing things, because well, I'm just using what is on my palette knife, and that makes for interest then already. And the gel medium, by the way, makes not only this look plasticky in the end, but it keep the acrylic paint, keep its shape that I'm putting down. on the canvas. And also it stays in exactly the texture that I leave it in. So it's almost like super thick oil paints that that I'm working with, though I'm working with acrylics. Need a bit more of the light blue. Did I put it? Ah, yeah. What I also like about this way of painting is that you don't have to have everything smooth. You don't have to check and check and check and check again if you left any lines like I had to do with background. I can actually just go on here and leave the lines and let them work to my advantage. I don't like this way of painting for any subject though. I really, well, I have to see if it fits. And I do like the, I don't want to say abstract, but I do like architecture painting a lot with this style. But not so much people, for example. But that might be because I like, even if people have really heavy wrinkles because they may be elderlies, I do like their skin to be smooth. And I cannot achieve that with the palette knives as much. All right. Almost done with this part. I need to let it dry now for a bit, and then I can pull in the shading, the tiny bit of shading there. But first I'm going to almost a bit more. I hate painting down at that part where the canvas sits on the easel, because with the angle there it's really difficult to get there. So just a tiny bit more shading here on this part. Good. Now I need more gel medium. I also need more Prussian blue. I think I'm not having any more here, so I need to get it from my supply. Hold on. Okay. First I have to get the gel. I have to start a new box there. I think I'm gonna finish quite a bit of supplies today. Already down one gel medium and one Prussian blue and also the light blue. So I think I'm gonna finish those today. Okay, let's go to the next ones. So, dark shadows work first. And then bring in the light blue. Top. And sometimes if you lose lines while you paint, you can just indicate where they are by pulling a line there and then add shading later, which is a neat thing, I think. This is, by the way, at the same time, a slow and a fast process of painting, because you're only adding so much detail, you're only adding so much layers. But you have to move your hand rather slow because, well, you have to position the paint as correct as you can. And now I know why I always have white fingers. Because I'm having my finger in paint. So. If you rush things too much with this technique, you're gonna lose the details and the fine shading that you can do with pulling the palette knife slowly, like here. And you have to work on semi-dry what's it called? Paint there? So that you can pull the lower level, the lower layers, but also have texture on top. So here are the super darks, super darks, super darks. the first time here that I have a white line to indicate the edge of a dice, but this is where the light falls. A bit more gel, tiny bit more gel, not much, but a little, just to also have the last part of ouch, shit, of the die be raised. Almost there. Then I have to, I think I'm going to end the video then, because I have to clean my palette here and then move on to the next color that I'm going to work with, and that will probably be these parts in the back. So I will need yellows and greens and oranges, and I have to get rid of the blue on my palette. So I'm just going to use that up now, and then I'm going to stop the video. So the rest, and I hope I can manage to finish it next week. The rest of the painting I will do in next week's video, and then if I should be able to finish it in the next episode of Art Day, I'm also going to have the blog post live then, of course, with details on the colors and everything, but that definitely is a thing that I have to wait for and see what I can manage to do. So I need a few more highlights here, maybe. Definitely need more highlights here. Here. And also, you guessed it, here. I hope you enjoy watching this and see what you can achieve with this kind of painting, and maybe you're inspired to have a painting with this style or these materials on your own. It's really easy, but you just, well, easy in the technical sense. You just have to be brave, you know? Be brave and take a canvas, take some acrylics, take a little bit of gel, medium, or just gel, that is fine too, that works as well. And get painting. I mean, a few palette knives. It's not sorcery or wizardry. It is just a very cool way to do artwork, folks. To have a bit more of the darks, maybe. All right, these are the dice, and now I'm gonna stop the video. I'm gonna see you next week with more painting on this one. I hope you enjoyed watching along. Have a wonderful day, and I'm gonna see you. Bye.